97, woke up. 96, drank coffee. 95, ate eggs and cinnamon toast. 94, began accounting for the minutes and days between now and whatever is supposed to happen next. 93, began losing track of time. My project changed pretty much completely through COVID. My original project involved making music. I was gonna do a series of music workshops with my father, Bill Lowe, is a jazz musician. He was gonna come out here. We're gonna work on all this great stuff. And COVID meant that that wasn't really possible. And so I picked up some of the themes that we were dealing with, which had to do with sort of Black music and Black creativity and sort of questions of kind of how our sort of ideas are valued in the world. So I ended up with this sculptural piece that's called Sum Total that has all of these different pieces of hardware and nuts and bolts and paracord and all sorts of stuff that are organized into these different numeric sets based on the numbers 1 through 97. I also did a piece of writing called 97 Days Between that was sort of recounting the sort of intensity of living through the first few months of the pandemic. And then sort of working through those two pieces, that piece of writing and the idea for this sculpture, we ended up finally, after it was all said and done, coming back together, my father and I, and making a piece of music that we were able to do sort of remotely. So I did some recordings here in Oklahoma and then sent the files to him and another one of our collaborators, Taylor Herbynum, where they did some improvisation on site in Boston. 52, checked job listings. 51, checked artist grant listings. 50, checked my bank account. You know, my training is in film and video, and I very explicitly and purposely decided not to have any film or video in this piece. And then also that I took a risk to sort of make something about sort of the question and challenges of, you know, how artists are, and just people of color in general, are sort of treated or mistreated within arts economies. You know, the name of the project is A Token as a Stand-in for Something of Value. I speak about, you know, the difference between useful support, like I'm getting from OVAC, and not so useful support that's about sort of tokenizing people and just sort of being interested in like, oh, you're just, you know, our placeholder for Black artists or a placeholder for this or that. And the difference matters, right? And I made choices over the last year to really distance myself from the things that weren't helpful so that I could engage with things that actually were. And I think, you know, and sometimes at my own peril. And so I think that like I would want people to remember that I like took those risks and still was able to create something that was like beautiful and engaging and that could like, you know, be in conversation with all this other amazing work at a time when it would be really understandable if I just like hid under my bed and like didn't do anything.